So, as of today, I have been officially living in Korea for exactly 1 month, and I've gotten so many comments from you guys asking me to do a comparison video of living in Japan versus living in Korea. But you need to keep in mind that I lived in Japan for over 12 years and I've only been here for a month. So my opinion is not going to be a fair opinion. You can't compare living somewhere for such a short period of time with somewhere that you lived for over 12 years. So I can't really give you guys like a balanced opinion of how it is living in either country now. Maybe in like 12 years I could do it on Korea, or at least like, you know, a good like 3 years. Like give me some time to settle in here and learn all the good things and the bad things about living here, because of course for the first year or two you're just gonna be like, well, at least this is how I am. I'm always super excited about living somewhere new. Everything seems awesome and I don't really know about, you know, the hardships of living in that place. That's how I felt in Japan, and then the longer I lived there I got to know it more and I kind of figured out the things that are tough about living there. So I don't really want to do a comparison video, but what I did want to do is kind of share with you guys just some of the things I've noticed living here, like things that are totally new for me, things that are different from when I lived in Japan, what I like, what I don't like. But again, keep in mind I've only been here for 1 month. So in general, I'm just super excited about being here. I was in Japan for so long that it was really, I needed a change. Like it was time for me to go somewhere and try something new. And I feel like no matter what country I ended up going to, I would have been super excited to be there because it's something new for me. So keep that in mind. I'm not saying I like one country more than the other or anything. Let's not start a fight in the comments. So I've made like a list in my notepad here, and I've kind of broken it up into categories to make it a little easier to talk about. So first I'm gonna talk about my house here and what I feel about our new Korean apartment. First of all, we don't have a bathtub. And that's really the only thing that I'm struggling with here, because I really miss having baths. I really liked using nice bath bombs and relaxing in the bath, and I can't do that here. It's kind of a shame. We have one of those combination bathrooms that has the toilet, the sink, and the shower all in one little room. So we just kind of shower towards the back side of the washroom and the whole floor gets wet. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but it's not too bad. It's not super crowded in there, so I don't mind it too much. I'm getting used to it. Another thing about our living situation that is different for me is the garbage separation rules. Here in Korea, they're really strict with how they separate their garbage and their recyclables, which is really good. It's great. It means that they have a really good recycling program. But the one thing that is really different from living in Japan is you need to throw away your food leftovers, your food scraps, in a separate place. So you can't put any food in the garbage. And I keep accidentally throwing stuff in the garbage just out of habit and not putting it in the separate food container. It's gonna take me a while to get used to. Hopefully I will get there. But at the moment we have 6 different garbage cans in our house. The floors are heated. I've mentioned this before, but I love it. The floors are really nice. It's so nice to like turn on the floor heater and have a really nice floor in the evening. We sit on the floor a lot. Sometimes we eat our dinner around the coffee table and sit on the floor. The cats love it. They're constantly like lounging on the warm floor, like spread out. They're just in heaven. The cats are really seeming to enjoy the new place, which I'm really happy about. It took them a while. Oh, there's Luna. It took them a while to get settled in here. They were really scared of all the voices of the neighbors and everything, but right now I feel like they're really comfortable and really happy with it, so I'm really, really happy about that. Let's move on to transportation. The subway system is so easy to understand here. I get really anxious about using the train in Japan. It's really confusing because you have to switch companies. If you've been to Japan, you know what I mean, but sometimes when you're taking the train, you need to go out of the gates and then find the other train station and enter those gates and switch to a train that way and switch train companies. But here in Korea, it's all one company, so it's super simple. You never need to leave the station to find another station to transfer your train. It's all like within the same place, so it's super easy to understand. Everything's labeled really simply. The lines are color coded and there's not too many of them. So I think it's very foreigner friendly. If you don't speak Korean, it's okay. There are apps to show you like where to transfer and everything, and then it's just super easy to figure it out when you're in the station itself, to find the exits, to find the transfers. It's all labeled very well. So I really, really like the subway system here. And bonus, it's really cheap. It's like amazingly cheap. I can take the subway for an hour over to the other side of Seoul and it'll be like $1.50. So I'm really enjoying how much money I'm able to save now on transportation. Taxis are also a lot cheaper, so really cool. Subway and taxis are cheap. It's great for me because I go out a lot. I'm traveling around the city. One of the bad things about the subway here, I would say, is that the people push. It's really common to be like really pushy with people and like shove them on the train when you're like trying to get in the doors and everything. And that's common here. People don't really see it as rude, I think. It's just something that people do. So that might bother you if you're not used to that. And also the trains are a lot noisier, but like in a good way, or at least I think so. You're allowed to talk on the train. It's not like a big no-no to make noise on the train. You're allowed to talk on the train and you're allowed to answer your phone and talk on the phone, which I like because sometimes that's really inconvenient. If you're on like a really long train ride and you need to make a phone call, you can't do that in Japan because it's like really against the, not like actual rules, but you know what I mean? It's like not acceptable to talk on your phone in Japan. And here people don't care. So the train's really noisy, which can be annoying, but it's also a good thing if you need to talk on your phone. Food! Food is amazing. I'm really loving the variety of food here, and I find it really easy to tell them not to include something with my meal. So if I want them to like take the meat off of it and just give me the veggies on the rice, they're super open to that and they don't question me, and I really like that. So I found it really easy to find vegan dishes here. If you're a vegetarian, it would be even easier. So that's a really big plus for me. It makes it really easy to eat out. As for cooking at home, the grocery stores have a really huge variety of vegetables and salad greens, which is new for me. In Japan, they didn't really have a big selection of lettuce because it wasn't really a big staple in Japanese diets to make like a big salad or anything like that. But here they use the salad greens to wrap up meat, like Korean barbecue. They usually eat it with like a leaf and then wrap up the meat and eat it that way. That means that there's this huge selection of salad greens to choose from. They have like these salad bars at the grocery store where you can choose which leaves you want and then they'll weigh it and give you a price. And it's really reasonable, and there's just lots of really dark, leafy, healthy greens. And I'm so excited about that because I love making salads and putting them in like my rice bowls, and there's just like endless opportunities now. So I'm stoked about that. Lots of foreign foods available. The only downside about the food for me is that lots of it is spicy as fuck, like really spicy, and I'm hoping that my body will get used to that eventually, but at the moment I'm having some trouble eating some of the dishes. So we will see. I'll update you guys on my spicy Korean food adventure, and hopefully I will get used to it one day. Delivery food is really common here. It's really cheap, and there are so many places that deliver food, like Subway, McDonald's, anything in your area will most likely deliver to you. If it's within like a couple kilometers of your house, they probably do delivery. Something else I love as somebody who works from home and works outside in cafes is the cafes. The coffee is amazing. It's really good quality, and the cafes are so cute and so pretty. They have just like probably one of the best selection of cafes in the world. There's just so many nice places to choose from, and the drinks are freaking delicious. Okay, beauty, health, and fashion. I've grouped these all together. So I love Korean skincare, so it's been really awesome to have access to Korean skincare for so cheap. Korean skincare is just such high quality, and now that I'm living here, it's a lot easier to get it shipped to my house. I can make a WISHTREND order and it'll arrive at my house in like 2 days, and the shipping is free. It's just so awesome. Oh, I feel so blessed. Fashion, I really like Korean fashion style. I find that it's closer to like American style. It's more like casual and sporty, as opposed to Japan where it was a little more girly and cutesy, I want to say. It's definitely more my style here. I find it a lot easier to find clothes that I like here, and it's a lot cheaper. Fashion seems to be quite affordable here. Even if you go into like a little boutique store and you think like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to afford this place. Like the place that I showed in my vlog, the Invali place, it looks so expensive, right? But then the shirt that I got was like $30. So I've been noticing that just in general, clothing's a lot cheaper here. Health-wise, Koreans love gyms. They're obsessed with gyms. So you can find a gym on every street, basically, which is really cool. I'm really, really excited about it. And also, it's quite cheap. The one that I registered at is $30 a month, and that includes a sauna. There's like a little wooden sauna room for relaxing. There's exercise classes that I can join if I want. There's like a trampoline class, and there are aerobics classes, and then there's like the regular gym with the weight training machines and the cardio machines. And for $30, I think that's such an awesome deal. So really excited about the gyms. The next category is like outside, like the living environment. So in general, the streets are a lot dirtier here than in Japan. When I say a lot, I don't mean that it's like horribly dirty or anything, but Japan is impeccably clean. You never see trash on the ground in Japan, and just everywhere it looks like super tidy, unless it's like Halloween or something, then it gets kind of crazy. But even after Halloween, they were like on it for cleaning up the streets in Japan. Here, people don't seem to care as much, so you will see some trash on the ground, people littering like receipts, or like people like to throw their business card. Like this is like a thing. They'll like ride by on a bike and then they'll throw like cards advertising their store or something, and then they'll land on the ground, and then I guess you're supposed to like see that as you're walking and be like, oh yeah, I do need a haircut, maybe I'll go to this place. It seems like a really stupid way to advertise to me, but you will see lots of business cards advertising stores and stuff on the ground. So that's a thing. And also, when it's garbage day here, people will take their trash and put it outside of their apartment buildings, and it'll be on the street in a bag. There aren't many trash bins, so everything's just kind of on the street. So if it's garbage day and you're walking around and the garbage hasn't been picked up yet, it'll smell like garbage and there'll be like garbage bags everywhere. So that can be kind of gross. But once the garbage has been picked up and everything, then it's fine. The air pollution can be really bad. It's definitely one of the downsides of living in Korea. There have been a couple days recently where I didn't even want to be outside for any longer than 5 minutes because I would just start to feel sick. The pollution comes over from China mostly. I'm sure some of it is made here in Korea as well, but lots of the pollution comes over in waves from China, and you can see it in the sky in like yellow dust, and it's really bad for you, so you should wear a mask to protect yourself from it. Even with the mask, you still get some of the air in and you start to feel really sick, so that has sucked. But today and yesterday were really clean air days, so I've been trying to be outside and walking around as much as possible, but you do need to be aware that some days it's really bad, and you can download an app called AIRBNB, and it will give you the stats of the area that you're in, so you know if you should try to protect yourself a little more than usual. Inside our house, we have an air filtration machine that keeps the air in our house like perfect, so it feels so nice in here all the time, so I don't need to worry about it when I'm inside. But going outside, I always make sure to check my app and see how the air is that day. One thing I really like is that there are speakers outside everywhere, and they play music all the time, so they're constantly playing like songs that I like. It's mostly K-pop. I think like 95% of the time they play K-pop, but it's so cool to hear songs that I like on the street like that all the time. It's usually Big Bang or BTS. You hear lots of 101 recently, some hip-hop stuff, not as much, mostly poppy stuff, but it's fun. It's fun to be able to hear music everywhere, even when you're just like outside walking down the street. And I think that's it. I feel like I'm probably missing a bunch of things that I could talk to you guys about, but this video is already super long, but I hope that gave you like an overview of some of the differences I've noticed here, some of the things I'm liking, some of the things that aren't as good. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please do that. I will be making lots of videos about my life here in Korea and trying to explore as much as possible so I can share lots of Korea with you guys. I don't want to stay just in Seoul. I'm planning to go outside of Seoul and explore some of the other places that maybe you haven't seen as much of on YouTube. I'm really looking forward to doing that when the weather gets a little warmer. Got some trips planned, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you again soon with another video. Bye!